great for us throughout the year. And for our team to affect winning, it doesn't always have to show up in scoring. You know, that entails both sides of the ball, defensively and offensively. And one of the biggest improvements for Kobe has been his defense. And I've seen, you know, and I know my staff will agree to this, is that we're watching a young man who's becoming a two-way player. You know, last year as a freshman, the game was moving so fast for him, and he was trying his best to grasp new teaching, what's asked of him, new habits. And not saying he wasn't bought in his first year, but the second year, you know, you start to get more confident, you start to feel more comfortable, and at times you see how he's, you know, allowing the game to come to him on the offensive end, but at the same time on the defensive end, he's impacting in so many ways.
And Doug McDaniel told us that you guys have a special relationship and you know how to get him going, and he wasn't going anywhere for a while. Talk about what you maybe told him and how he turned it around down the stretch.
I'm sorry, what do you mean by wasn't going anywhere?
Well, statistically, he
wasn't scoring in this game.
And
then he rebounded and assists late.
Well, you can definitely impact the game in a lot of ways instead of the points. And you know, one of the things that with our team that we focus on is you know, how can you play both sides of the ball and be effective out there where you can breathe life into your team. And one of the areas that sticks out in my mind, but also in the stat sheet, is that he had 8 rebounds, and he's the lead rebounder. And I call him a big guard tonight because he went in there and grabbed some tough rebounds, took down the stretch when we got stops, when Hunter or Terrence was battling and keeping the guys off the board. We were going to need everyone, you know, on the defensive end to be able to get rebounds for us. And yes, it was all hands on deck.
Tom?
And Juwan, great finish and the win. At certain parts of the game, though, the defensive lapses early in the second half, and you were stuck on 62 offensively for a while. What were the things that were going wrong?
Well, if you go back to down the stretch, I think it was like, what, 14-2 run that we made when they were up 72-76. So let's not forget about that. Let's give these young men their flowers and how they were able to buckle down and find ways to, you know, get stops when needed. And I really give them a lot of credit because they had to deal with a lot this week. You're talking about finals, and I hadn't played in the game in a long time since Minnesota, and coming back from, you know, London, and then, you know, you have your first game at home. You have to be in front of your home crowd, and you know, you're gonna have some stretches where the games are built on runs, but when we got it done when we had to.
Andrew?
Juwan, Kobe is young relative to most sophomores. His high school career was kind of limited at the end for various reasons, I guess. Do you feel there's still, you know, some more untapped potential than your typical second-year player?
Well, when you're a sophomore, yes, of course it is, because he's still young and he's not a senior yet. You play against sometimes fifth-year seniors or guys that have been in 6 years in college, and you have a big advantage, and it gives you an edge because you've seen a lot, you've played a lot of games, you have a ton of experience. But Kobe, he's a competitor. And what I see in Kobe is a guy that loved basketball, fell in love with the game of basketball, student of the game, and he's a grinder.
Right in the middle, Coach, Lindsay?
Yeah, this is only Doug's second game started. To see what he was able to do down the stretch and how he was able to step up, what does that mean for this team, not just today, but going forward for the rest of the season?
You hear that, fellas? You know, the young lady understands exactly, you know, what a young man who just come in for a second start, and at times we expect for things to happen right away because we live in a microwave world where everything's supposed to happen so instant, you know, but it takes time to develop, and you know, you got to have patience. And you know, I have patience with Doug, and we have patience with the team, that we're going to keep growing and keep getting better, and Doug is going to keep leading us. He has the ball in his hands, and one of the toughest positions in basketball is point guard position, and Doug is the right person and has the right makeup for that position, and he's going to help lead us.
Stay in the middle with Tony.
Yeah, Juwan. I wonder, oftentimes this year the team has gone through Hunter and gone through Jet. How important is it to find a third person to be reliable?
We're not looking for a third. We're looking for a team. This game is built on team. And you remember Coach late, the great Bo Schembechler. All he talked about was team, team, team. Never singled out the quarterback, never singled out the defensive end, the running back. Said you will win team, 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 team play. And that's exactly what we have. We are 1 through 15 solid.
Steve?
Well, your home crowd was appreciative of the way you guys pulled it out and played with such a strong game down the stretch. Talk about finding ways to win and the importance of that.
Winning is hard. You know, we can all sit back and watch it on TV, or we can sit in the stands and think that it's so easy as you're watching these young men now go out there and compete. Why you didn't make that shot? How you missed that layup? You know, how you missed that free throw? Why you missed that block out? Shit's hard. It's not easy. Especially you got the bright lights focused in on you. You got a lot of fans out there, and some that are, when you miss a shot, oh, you know, and how deflating that feels for a young man. But they find ways, man, because they are gritty, they are competitive, they care, they work hard in practice, and they try their hardest in games to go out there and perform. And I'm so damn proud of them.
Anybody have anything else?
Coach, can you see Jalen as a mentor to Doug? He kind of talked about him and when he comes off the floor and his role in kind of Doug's development as well.
Oh, Jalen is awesome. He's a great person, great leader. They have a great relationship. Jalen's been great for everyone. Just having his presence on our team, I knew from day one, this type of character, and getting to know him as I was recruiting him, that he would be the right person to fit our culture. And I hadn't second guessed it one bit, and I was right on. And it's nice how the team embraced him and how he's embraced his brothers.